Good morning and welcome to Center Grove High School for today's baseball game between the Avon Orioles and the Center Grove Trojans. Number one, Kevin Conrad along with Rick Embry. We welcome you to our coverage of Center Grove baseball presented by Cooper's Water. And Rick Embry, big day today for Center Grove baseball. The inaugural game here on the new turf, and it looks absolutely beautiful. And the opponent today, the Avon Orioles.
I was going to ask you, Kevin, is there anything different about our view today than has been like this for the last 10 or 15 years? But, man, you're exactly right. What a beautiful, beautiful field, and obviously just got wrapped up a couple days ago, and we'll talk about it throughout the broadcast, and a lot of thanks go out to several different people and within the school system. But, man, it's beautiful out here, Kevin, and you know, hopefully this will prevent us from ever having or very limited times where we have any rainouts or anything like that. And then hopefully, you know, if other facilities can't play at their place, then we'll have some more home games to do. But yeah, it's a beautiful facility. I'm looking forward to a great game this morning against Avon, their opening game of the year, and Center Grove has already played one and got a tie.
Take a look at our pregame notes presented by Cooper's Water. And your weather forecast, at the moment it says mostly sunny. We're seeing more clouds than sun at the moment. Game time temperature 43 degrees. Head coach for Avon, Coach Troy Droshi, and Keith Hatfield, head coach for the Trojans. You see the team rankings. The Trojans in the PBR Class 4A number 2 preseason poll. And Rick mentioned the Trojans tied earlier this week with Columbus East at Columbus East. That game was supposed to be played here, but because the field wasn't quite ready, they moved it to Columbus East, and the Trojans end up in a tie. It was called for darkness in the top of the 7th inning. And the pitchers today, Rick, going for the Trojans, the big right-hander, Jacob Wilson Sr., 6'6", and for the Avon Orioles, it appears to us this will be Daniel Eck Jr., his first varsity appearance. But how about the numbers on Jacob Wilson?
Yeah, Jacob had a fantastic junior season last year, 7-2 on the year, 2.86 ERA, pitched 49 innings. In those 49 innings, 69 strikeouts and 36 walks. So that's the number. That number at the end is what he's going to look to improve on his senior season. He's committed to the University of Dayton to play next year. We're going to have a couple tall right-handers because that goes every bit of 6'4", 6'5" as well. And you got Wilson very imposing on that mound at 6'6", and we're getting ready to go, Kevin.
Leading things off for the Orioles, Griffin Schabel, right fielder. He's a junior. And we are underway, the inaugural game on this new turf, and it's called a ball high.
Yeah, Schabel, one of the 6 guys, from what I can tell, new starters on that Avon lineup. He only had 3 at-bats at the varsity level last year.
Fouls this one off. Trojans give it chase. Guilfoyle at first base. Can't quite get there. It did stay in play, but not able to get there, and it'll be a count of 1 ball, 1 strike here to the leadoff batter, Schabel.
I mean, I'm sure even though these guys play on the turf a lot during when they're playing summer travel ball, just this will be a new adjustment period for the Center Grove team as well. Like I said, I think they've only been able to practice on this for 2 days.
Just missed. 2 balls, 1 strike.
That's a good location there by Wilson, but just low, I believe, was the call by the home plate umpire.
2-1 pitch. Foul down that first base line. Starting today for the Trojans defensively, we have Grant Sawa, junior catcher, Owen Guilfoyle, senior at first base. Guilfoyle last year played third, so moving to first base. Caden Curry has moved on to Ohio State, already in spring football with the Buckeyes. Sam Griffith, senior at second base. Tyler Cerny, great to see him back in the lineup after being sidelined last year due to illness. And this one's ripped to right field to Garrison Burrill, and he comes in, dives, and makes the play. That's Garrison Burrill, junior, in right field for out number 1.
Great diving catch there by Garrison. Kind of got stuck and thought it was going to be deeper and then had to come in at the last minute, but he made a nice diving catch for the first out of the ball game.
Drew Culbertson last year played at shortstop, moves over, plays third base this year. He's a junior, and Matthew Sauter, senior in left. Mitchell Evans, all conference, all county last year. In center field, he's the senior, and again, Burrill in right field. And number 2 batter at the plate, Joe Huffman. He's the DH. He's a senior. Pitch from Wilson is outside for ball one.
Yeah, Huffman, one of their leading hitters from last year, batted 400 with a couple homers.
Rips this one foul down the right field line. You can tell already Avon going the other way here with Wilson.
Well, either going the other way or late, Kevin. But he has been trying to make those pitches on the outside part of the plate, so you're exactly right. That's what you have to do with the ball instead of trying to pull it.
This one's high. 2 balls, 1 strike. And, Rick, I know you went Wednesday to watch the Trojans play in the season opener at Columbus East. Center Grove got off to a solid start in the first inning, but pitching kind of fell apart a little bit in the early on, and the Trojans come back. They take the lead, but then it got tied, and then it got called for darkness. So it was an interesting game.
It was a very interesting game. Much warmer weather, by the way. It was about 75 on Wednesday. Very windy, but yeah, I mean, Center Grove just had opportunities every inning. I mean, their bats were pretty solid, and I think they stranded 14 guys through that 6 innings of play. And yeah, I mean, in that second inning when they gave up 5 runs to Columbus East, it was a lot of that was due to walks and hit by pitches as well. So they'll get that cleaned up and get a few more timely hits. But yeah, it was unfortunate they didn't get that ball game ended because Columbus East didn't have any lights.
Huffman draws a walk. Again, he's the senior DH. He's at first base. Nate Simpson, junior center fielder, lefty. First one down in the zone.
Man, that one, I don't know where that one was.
Ball one. Wilson trying to find the zone, also trying to figure out the home plate umpire, what he likes, what he doesn't like. Ooh. He liked that one.
I think he got one back there because that one looked high and outside the zone. But 1-1, yeah. I mean, it's his first outing of the year, obviously, and not the best pitching conditions that you can throw in with the temperatures and a little bit breezy today. But hopefully he gets honed in here.
Home opener for the Trojans, season opener for Avon. The 1-1 pitch, working from the stretch, and now he's going to step off. Trying to keep Huffman close there at first base. Huffman, good lead at first base. To the plate. Likes that corner. And also a little high. Likes the high strike. It's going to be a count of 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Yeah, both those last 2 pitches were nice pitches on the outside part of the plate. Huffman led Avon last year with 11 stolen bases on the year, so that's a big reason why Wilson is trying to keep him close.
Simpson at the plate, hit .333 last year as a sophomore. Had a couple of home runs, 9 doubles, 16 runs batted in. Fouls this one away. Falls behind now. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
I think you got the wrong Simpson, Kevin. There was a T. Simpson last year that was a senior. Nate Simpson as a sophomore last year. Oh, he did bat .333. You're right. I was looking at his brother. I'm assuming he batted .367. So
there you go. 1-2 pitch. Fouls it away.
Doing a good job of staying alive there. Just looking for Wilson to try to make a mistake. A lot of senior and a lot of experience around that. Center Grove returns all of their regular position players from last year and a big chunk of their pitching staff as well.
Off-speed pitch, backwards K, his first punch out here in today's ball game, 2 gone.
Man, that's just a nice pitch, and completely Simpson was fooled on that one, looking for a fastball or something away, and Wilson was able to drop that one in for a called 3rd strike. Kyle Riley, another one with only 4 at-bats last year.
44, Kyle Riley.
As a sophomore, he was 2 for 4. Yeah, I would, if Avon's going to try to put Huffman in motion here, this would be the time to do it.
Good job by Sawa.
Try to get him in scoring position for your cleanup hitter, Riley.
Sawa keeping that one in front. 1 ball, no strikes here to the number 4 batter, Kyle Riley.
Ooh,
and this comes inside, hitting. He is aboard, so a walk, now hit by the pitch. Rick, a little reminiscent of what I was told, I think, by you on that game on Wednesday. First inning was really solid for Murphy, but then had a hit batter and some walks, and loaded up the bases in the second inning.
Yeah, on that bottom of the second inning, it just got away from him pretty quickly. He a couple walks and then hit by pitch to load the bases, and then a couple singles later, and they had 5 runs on the board. So, he had a very solid first inning, and then second inning it kind of lost control a little bit, but he'll get that fixed.
So 2 gone, runners at first and second base. Your number 5 batter, Chris Condis, senior second baseman. First pitch, a ball.
I mean, the other thing that you got to look for is Wilson's throwing a lot of pitches here in the first inning, and it's not something that normally in the first few games, especially with cold weather, that you want to have your starting pitchers throw a lot of pitches right off the bat. Oh, that's a nice play. Is he going to get him? Oh, yeah.
Got him. Great job by Sawa. Again, he slides over, kept it in front.
He's a fantastic catcher, and we'll talk more about him after the break, Kevin.
So great defensive play by Sawa. Gets the runner at third base, trying to advance. That was Huffman. So the Orioles get some runners aboard, stranded. Trojans come to the plate for the first time today. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball, presented by Cooper's Water.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Here at Trojan Field for this inaugural game on the new turf. We're headed to the bottom of 1, no score. Trojans come to the plate. Rick, how about Grant Sawa behind the plate? He blocked not 1 but 2 in the dirt, in the turf, I guess you can say now. But does a great job to gun down the runners who try to advance to third base.
I mean, he absolutely picked up his pitcher right there. And just think, Kevin, a little over a year ago, that young man was making his first start at catcher in his entire lifetime. He was one that Coach Hatfield went to him before during last offseason and said, hey, we're a little bit light in the catching ranks. Do you want to give this a try? And the kid had never played catcher in his life and spent a couple months working on it, and he was fantastic last year as a sophomore, handling that pitching staff that got all the way to the regional finals and off to a really good start this year as well. Can't speak enough about the work that young man has put in to become a high-level catcher.
Tyler Cerny, senior, committed to play at IU at the plate, leading things off for the Trojans, has a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, working against Daniel Eck, junior, lefty. This one tying outside. Again, looking at Avon stats from last season. Eck not in the stat sheet, so we do believe this is his first varsity start. 2 balls, 1 strike.
Big, tall lefty out on that mound.
Swing and a miss by Tyler.
And big, high heat that's sometimes difficult to catch up to. But, yeah, Cerny, one of the many D1 commits that we're going to talk about throughout the course of the year. Cerny, like you said, going to IU, committed after his freshman year.
The 2-2, ground ball to the shortstop. Correas throws on to first to take care of Tyler Cerny for 1 gone. And Rick, with this new turf, some guidelines put out there by Center Grove AD Scott Knapp. No spikes, got to wear the cleats or turf shoes.
The rubber shoes.
And no gum chewing, no seeds. So trying to keep this turf looking sharp.
Yep.
Number 2 batter for the Trojans, Drew Culbertson Jr., moving over to third base this year. Cerny at shortstop this season. And how about Drew Culbertson last year with some impressive numbers as a sophomore?
Yeah, batted .366 on the year, 21 RBIs. He was fantastic. And like you said, played at shortstop all last year with Cerny. Not available with the health issues he was going through, and now Drew just slides over to third base. But, you know, another commit, big-time commit here. He's going to play in the SEC at the University of Missouri after his last 2 years, obviously, of high school.
1 ball, 1 strike to Culbertson. Eck looks in for the sign. Jerry Baltiera behind the plate. Junior catcher looks at a strike. Kyle Riley Jr. is at first base for the Orioles. Chris Condas, senior, at second base. Miguel Carreras, sophomore, at shortstop. Connor Van Dever, sophomore, at third base. Dylan Hommel Jr. in left. Nate Simpson Jr. in center. And Griffin Schabel Jr. in right. This one's high and outside. 2-2 the count to the junior. Drew Culbertson. Rick, how about this infield for the Trojans? Man, you go from the left side to the right side. It is solid.
You got
ground ball to the second baseman, Condas. 2 gone. Boy, you love the hops if you're an infielder on this field.
You should never complain about a bad hop when you're playing on turf. That's what I used to always tell little guys when I coached them and they started playing on turf.
Center fielder, number 11, Mitchell
you're going to get true hop after true hop, so no excuses on that. But, yeah, that Center Grove infield, you got 3 D1 guys and 1 D2 guy across that infield with Culbertson, Cerny, Griffith, and then Owen Guilfoy going to UIndy over there at first base. So they're loaded at those spots and equally talented in that outfield as well.
So 2 gone. We'll see Mitchell Evans. What a junior season he had last year. He was all MIC Player of the Year. He is going to head to IU to play football. He could probably play 2 sports if he wanted to, football and baseball at IU. He's just that talented of a player.
And I've heard rumors that he's thinking about walking on for the baseball team as well as the football team. But, yeah, he had a fantastic junior season, and he did have some D1 offers to go play baseball, but just decided he's going to give football a try down at IU as a walk-on.
Falls behind, 1 ball, 2 strikes. Eck just had a great curveball, dropped it in there for a strike, and now Mitchell goes with it into right center field, and the first hit for the Trojans today going to Mitchell Evans here on the new turf. Only fitting, the senior. And I love the piece of hitting. Just it was over the outer half, and he went with the pitch.
Yeah, didn't try to do too much with it. Kind of an off-speed pitch by Eck as well on the outer part, and he just looped that into right center field. So first base runner on a board for Center Grove.
Owen Guilfoy, your number 4 batter, senior, playing at first base this season. Played third base last year. Takes a good, healthy cut there.
Yeah, Owen last year, 314 on the year, 28 RBIs from that 4-hole that he hit in last year as well.
Eck looks in for the sign. Maltiera hanging the sign. Eck working from the stretch. Evans a good lead at first. This one's down low. Good job by the catcher. Kept it in front. 1 ball, 1 strike.
Yeah,
Evans remains at first.
And a good job by Guilfoy of laying off of that pitch, an off-speed pitch that dove at the last minute. We'll see if Coach Hatfield puts Evans, who has very good wheels at first base, in motion. He's got a great lead.
Checks the runner back. Riley playing at first base.
Always more difficult, Kevin, as you know, with a lefty on the mound, getting that lead. And I used to say lefties balk about 80% of the time, and it gets called about 20% of the time.
Outside, 2 balls, 1 strike.
But you really got to watch that front leg and read off of that.
Guilfoy batted .314 last year, 3 home runs. Down in the zone, 3-1. Good eye by Guilfoy.
Yeah, now he's got a pitch that he can look at and get after.
28 RBIs last year for Guilfoy. Eck from the stretch. 3-1 pitch. Guilfoyle rips it. Shortstop cannot come up with it cleanly. I would give that an infield single.
That's a base hit.
He did a great job to keep it in the infield, had to dive to his right, and did glove it, but as he took the ball out of the mitt from the ground, lost control of it.
Yeah, I think even if he would have...
Evans too fast.
Yeah, Evans Mitchell, he was trying to flip it to second base. That was his only possible play, and it slipped out of his hand as he tried, but I think Evans would have beat that. And so now Center Grove's got 2 on, 2 out with another big stick in the lineup, outfielder Garrison Burrill at the plate.
Boy, he put up some big numbers last year as a sophomore. He was truly that sophomore sensation. Takes the first one high for ball 1.
I mean, 341 on the year, 3 homers. I mean, he was fantastic, like you said, last year, and he's another D1 commit. Going to Miami of Ohio is where he's committed to as a junior.
Eck just missed. Ball got away from the catcher. He's going to throw to second base, and Mitchell Evans dives back in head first. He's in there safely. 2-0 the count to Garrison Burrill. And how about the respect for Keith Hatfield's Trojans this year in the preseason polls? One poll has Center Grove number 2 in the state, number 5 in another state poll, and I think I saw maybe here in the Midwest region, number 14. So Trojans loaded with a lot of talent this year. Took something off, and Burrill takes a good cut. Got away from the catcher, so the runners advance. Evans into third base. Guilfoyle takes second base.
Yeah, it's probably, as much as you don't like to say this, Kevin, probably a pass ball on the catcher.
I think so, too. He had it in the glove,
Yeah.
and then I think as he tried to.
Yeah, it didn't bounce or anything like
No.
that. He just an off-speed pitch there by Eck, and got away from the catcher a little bit and enabled Center Grove's runners to move up. So now you got 2 in scoring position with Burrill and sitting on a 2-1 count.
2 balls, 1 strike. Great opportunity here for Burrill. Couple of runners in scoring position. Burrill last year, 19 runs batted in, fouls this one away. Count evens up at 2 apiece.
That's a good location by Eck on that outside part of the plate. That's another one where you're going to have a very difficult time trying to pull that ball, so you just got to go with the pitch and try to drive that into right field somewhere, find a hole.
Deuce is wild. 2-2 the count, 2 gone. Eck stays on that outside corner, and good job by Burrill. He keeps protecting, fouls it away.
Burrill is such a physically strong. I mean, he's every bit of 6'2", 6'3", and probably 190, 180, 190 pounds. He just looks like a ball player.
The 2-2. Eck is high and outside, full count.
One of those guys where, you get them off the bus. They're the ones you want to get off the bus at the start when the other team's watching you get off the bus. And the other team's like, oh, my goodness, who are we playing? They never said that about me when I was 5'9", 125 getting off the bus playing baseball.
Payoff pitch.
Didn't miss by much.
Off-speed pitch.
Avon
a little bit
wanted that,
inside.
yeah,
It might have came across. I don't know if it came across a little high. But
I think so. I think that's, yeah. Eck wanted that pitch.
Left field, number 14, Matthew Sauter.
And here we go now. Matthew Sauter with an opportunity to get Center Grove on the board first. Bases loaded, 2 outs.
Trojans, a couple of singles, a walk by Burrill, bases loaded. Sauter, your number 6 batter, starting in left field. Strike 1 here to Sauter. Sauter last year batted .220. 8 doubles, 9 runs batted in. Great opportunity here for Sauter. With bases loaded outside, catcher tried to bring it back in, tried to frame it. 1 ball, 1 strike.
You got great speed on the bases as well. So if Sauter's able to find a gap out there, you got the possibility to clear the bases.
Eck working from the stretch. High leg kick.
Good eye by Matthew.
2-1 count to Sauter.
Yeah, and this is the pitch now. He cannot go to 3-1 on Sauter, so he's going to look to put that one across the plate. Matthew's got to look for it to drive it somewhere.
2-1 pitch, fouled straight back.
That was the one.
2-2.
Just missed that.
Temperatures mid-40s. We'll get to about mid-50 today.
Balmy mid-40s, Kevin.
Need some sunshine. Overcast. Minimal wind. There's a little bit of wind. You look at the center field flag blowing out toward center field and chops it to the third baseman. He has it, gloves it, tags third for the force out. And the Trojans, with bases loaded, strand the runners. We've played one complete here at Center Grove. No score between the Trojans and the Orioles. Today's game being presented by Cooper's Water. This is Trojan Baseball.
Tyler, where did all these old busted up furnaces come from?
Well, Chad, they're from our customers. They really love our free furnace promo.
I don't know if we can keep this up much longer.
Free Furnace Blowout! Your final chance. Get a free Bryant furnace from Peterman when you buy a qualifying new AC system. This deal will end soon.
Whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Text furnace to 72345 for your free furnace now.
To the top of two here at Center Grove High School. No score between CG and Avon for the Orioles. It'll be batters 5, 6, and 7. For the Center Grove Trojans, Rick, a couple of hits, a walk, bases loaded, but just couldn't quite come through with the clutch hit. And I know you informed me Wednesday the Trojans, I think, stranded, 14 batters? Runners?
14 in 6 innings, and they had a couple more on in that top of the 7th. So just need to find a way to get those big hits, and I mean that's a lot of times the difference. That was obviously the difference on Wednesday night in their game. They get a few more big hits with 2 outs, and they break that game completely open. And right there again, top of the first inning, they leave 3 on. But hopefully they'll come around here and start getting some of those hits. You just got to keep putting guys on bases, keep getting putting pressure on the other team, and eventually that's going to break.
Chris Condis, senior second baseman at the plate, number 5 batter. He's ahead in the count, 2 balls, no strikes. Jacob Wilson, 6'6", senior pitcher, throwing for the Trojans today. 3-0.
Yeah, Condis was up at the plate at the end of the top of the first when Sawa threw out Huffman at third base to end the top of the first.
Strike on the corner. 3 balls, 1 strike. So Wilson at the first inning got a fly out to right, a walk, strikeout looking, hit a batter. And they got the runner caught stealing going to third base, and there's your second walk given up by Wilson. Condis is aboard.
Shortstop number 14, Miguel Correa.
Still not Jacob. Still not quite into the groove yet.
Mm-hmm. Miguel Carrera, sophomore shortstop.
First at bat for Mr. Correa. He's a sophomore.
Takes it down low for ball 1. Correa almost came up with a nice play. Actually, pretty nice play defensively. Kept it in the infield. Yeah. With Evans' speed, who knows? He could have gotten to third base, but Correa kept it in the infield. This one's high. 2 balls, no strikes. And Burrell will call timeout, chat with his senior pitcher. I think it's a good job by Burrell.
Sawa.
Sawa. Burrell in right field, but a good job by Grant.
Yeah, Grant's not he's not a real talkative guy. If you're ever around him or anything, a pretty quiet, reserved guy, but a really good job there, like you said, of just going out and trying to settle him down and and taking a little bit of time.
3 balls, no strikes. From the stretch, runner at first. 3-0 pitch is high and tight. Back-to-back walks, his 3rd walk in today's ball game.
Yeah, and this is exactly how the second inning went down in Columbus East on Wednesday night with Murphy out on the mound. A couple walks and a hit by pitcher and hit by pitch, and the floodgates kind of open there. So
Cannon, Vandiver, sophomore third baseman, number 7 batter, steps up with runners at first and second base. Again, nobody out in the top of 2. Wilson looking to second base a couple of times. He puts the bat out there trying to put down the bunt. He did offer strike 1.
Man, I don't do that at all. Not after,
Back-to-back walks.
You can tell that Coach third base was not happy about that either. I mean, you got back-to-back walks. He's thrown 8 out of 9 pitches for balls, and you kind of bail him out a little bit there by stabbing at one.
Pulls it back.
I'm perfectly fine with wanting to bunt a guy over, but I need to see one first. I need to see him throw a strike first. Yeah, exactly.
1 ball, 1 strike. Runners at first and second base for the Orioles. Scoreless ball game.
He's scoring around again. Nope.
Low. 2 balls, 1 strike, and Grant Sawa again going to go have a chat with.
I think that was a little mix-up on pitches.
Jacob Wilson. You got a runner at second base. They're probably changing things up with the signals. Just making sure they're on the same page.
Yeah, Vandiver last year 0 for 8 as a freshman in limited action, so he's looking for his first varsity hit.
Swing and a miss at a good fastball. 2-2 the count.
Wilson trying to come all the way back here. Be a big first out. Oh, nice pitch. Yeah, he doesn't. Oh, throwing out at first.
And runner slides back in first, but it is a strikeout. Punch out number 2 for Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, it was the runner at first base thought that he had to run because that pitch was in the dirt and dropped by the catcher.
Left fielder number 10, Dylan
first
Howell.
base occupied, that batter is automatically out. If Guilfoyle would have been a little bit closer to first, Saul had a chance to throw him out coming back to first.
So Vandiver, second strikeout victim for Jacob Wilson. So with 1 out, runners at first and second base. Dylan Hommel, junior left fielder, number 8 batter at the plate. Sawa trying to frame that one on the corner. He's just missing that corner. 1 ball, no strikes.
Another batter for Avon looking for this is his first varsity at-bat. He didn't have any at-bats last year on the varsity level. These are the guys you just have to come after. If they beat you by hitting getting a base hit or something like that, and you live with it. You cannot put them on, and then you get back to that top of the order, and that's where you get hurt.
High and tight, 3-0 the count. Avon last year under Coach Troy Droshi, 16-13 record in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference, 5-9. The Trojans last year 29-5, 13-1 in the MIC. Conference champs under Keith Hatfield, and this one's low, ball 4. 4 walks allowed by Jacob Wilson, 3 here in the second inning. Bases are loaded.
Bases are loaded for the number 9 hitter.
Pitcher number 25, Jerry
Another one who
Altiera.
did not have a varsity at bat last year.
Baltiera, he's a catcher, junior, in that 9 hole.
Actually, he did. He batted .091. He was 1 for 11 last year.
Catchers are known for their great defense, maybe not so much for their offensive prowess.
I mean,
I was the exception, though.
Is now the time where we talk about tools of ignorance?
Well, look at what Sawa just did.
He saved a run right
Unbelievable.
there.
Yes.
Yeah, he saved a run. It might be about time for, here comes Coach Hatfield to talk to Jacob and try to get him settled down a little bit. And bullpen is starting to stir, which is not what you want to see game 2 after game 1 when you had to go into the bullpen in the second inning of your first game with Ben Murphy. You're now possibly having to go into the bullpen early with your second starting pitcher here as well.
Center Grove softball today, making that long trek out to Terre Haute, taking on Terre Haute South in game 1 today. The Trojans lead at 1-0 in the top of the third inning. Lex Warner hits the first home run of the season for the CG Trojan softball team. So, again, good start there for CG. They're 1 win, 2 losses on the season. Tough one last night at home against Pendleton Heights, losing in 8 innings, 8-6. Hopefully they can bounce back. They're in Terre Haute playing South first. Then they'll play Terre Haute North in game 2.
You know, it's spring season. You play baseball, softball. You know, if you don't like the results one night, it doesn't take very long. You don't have to wait a week like football and basketball a lot of times. Nice pitch there by Wilson.
Rick, sometimes you got to take a deep breath.
Yep.
And just enjoy yourself. Have a little bit of fun out there. It's okay. This is baseball. It's a game. And maybe to help that conversation, just to loosen him up here a little bit. Here comes the 1-1 pitch.
Nice curveball there.
And to have confidence to throw that curveball with Sawa behind the plate to keep it in front. You got to have that confidence with your catcher. Otherwise, you just don't feel comfortable throwing that pitch.
And there may not be another person out on this field more happy to see a turf field than that guy behind the plate, because you don't get the skips on the dirt. The only thing you got to worry about is if it hits that plate and slides on you a little bit. Other than that you're going to get true hops back there as well. And I just heard somebody say Grant be a wall, and he's been a wall several times so far in this ball game, only in the top of the second inning.
2 balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Bases loaded, fastballs high, full counts. Nowhere to put him, obviously. Bases loaded. Wilson from the stretch. He's high. Walk, RBI for Baltiera. And Avon strikes first, 1-0. Rick, a little, or maybe more than a little, reminiscent of what we saw Wednesday at Columbus East in the second inning.
Yeah, unfortunately.
Top of the order for Avon, now batting number 17.
Now you're going to see, I think it's one of the Murphys down there warming up in the pen, but you're going to see a bigger sense of urgency down there with getting him loosened up. And unfortunately now you get around to the top of the order, so you've walked 4 out of the bottom 5 guys. 3 of those had never seen a varsity pitch before, and now you get around to the top of the order and their leadoff man.
Griffin Shable, right fielder, junior. Hit one to Burrill in the first inning. Burrill had to come in and dive to make the catch, and this one's in foul territory, and it's out of play.
Coming in as a courtesy runner for the catcher, number 21, Cade Tislow.
Shable last year was 0 for 2 on the year, so just 2 at-bats for him on the year.
Young team for this Avon squad.
Oh, that's nice. That is a nice breaking ball. And now you got to make him hit your pitch. Obviously, you don't want to, kind of mess around here too much with struggling with your control, but
chops this one foul. Wilson seems to be most comfortable working from the stretch. He could go from the windup, but prefers the stretch.
By the way, for those viewers, there's no truth to the rumor that baby sound is another Embry kid. So let's get that straight right off the bat.
Thank you for the clarification.
You're welcome. Nice play again.
Wow, he's already had at least a half a dozen in the ground that he's had to scoop, keep in front, block, whatever you want to call it.
Man, and that one kind of kicked back on him, and he lifted up his chest protector to keep that one in front of him. Another really nice play.
Bases loaded, 1 out, 1 ball, 2 strikes to the leadoff batter. Outside. 2 balls, 2 strikes.
That one didn't miss by much, maybe a little bit high.
Wilson looks in for the sign. Sawa hangs the sign. Sets at the belt, 2-2 pitch. Rips it up the middle. 1 run scores, and they're going to hold the runner at third base. RBI single for Schabel. Avon leads it 2-0.
First varsity hit for Schabel, and he did exactly what you're supposed to do, just go right back at that pitcher. Wilson kind of left that one over the plate a little bit on the 2-2 pitch, and Schabel just lined it right back at him. And first hit of the day for Avon, and they're still in business now with one of their top couple hitters from last year up to the plate now in Huffman.
Correa scores. Bases remain loaded. Huffman DH walked back in the first. Takes the first one here. High, ball 1.
Corners are in for Center Grove, so a ground ball to third or first, and more than likely Culberson and Guilfoyle will come home with that one. Up the middle, they're playing for 2.
2 balls, no strikes. There's a strike. Inside part of the plate. 2-1.
I don't think Huffman was looking for that pitch.
He's been going away, and that one coming in tight.
Huffman walked the first time as well.
5 walks allowed so far by Wilson. A couple of strikeouts. Thing about it, they have 2 runs, Avon, with no hits.
One hit.
Or the one
that
hit.
One just last.
That's right. That was the first hit, that single by Schabel. So 1 hit has produced 2 runs. Again, the walks and 1 hit batter. That all adds up. 2-2 the count. Outside, full count. Keeps nibbling at the corner.
I think this is it for Wilson if he doesn't get him. Looks like the bullpen is ready to come in. Got him.
Got the strikeout. That's his 3rd strikeout in today's ball game. That was huge. 2 gone.
And now you just try to limit the damage. If you're able to get Simpson out here now, you know, you don't get that big crooked number on that board right away for Avon, and then you're just battling from behind all game. So big at-bat here.
Nate Simpson, junior center fielder, went down looking back in the first. Rips one foul. He straightens that one out. He might have himself a grand slam.
I don't think there's any doubt that was going to be a grand slam. But, yeah, he got out in front of that curveball, which Wilson caught him looking on in the first inning, was that curveball. And Simpson sat on that from that left-handed side of the plate and absolutely ripped that one. But you know what they say, it's a long strike, Kevin. A long, loud strike.
There's a good pitch. A real nice location. 0-2 the count.
Go attack. Let's go. Catcher got him that one. Come on, battle, kid, battle.
Good crowd for this one today. Avon brought a good crowd. Center Grove, also a very nice crowd. From the stretch to the plate. This one's high. 1-2 the count.
Try to get him to chased that one up high a little bit. Simpson did a good job of holding off on it.
And a left center. Matthew Sauter's got a beat on it and makes the catch. Well done by Sauter. Read it well.
Just hung up there a little bit too much for Simpson, and like you said, good speed in that outfield. Sauter was able to get a big third out for Center Grove.
For the Orioles, they get a couple across. They strike first. They lead it 2-0 over the Center Grove Trojans on just one hit. We're headed to the bottom of 2. CG's got some work to do. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball, presented by Cooper's Water.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Welcome back to Trojan Field. Cold day for the home opener in the 40s. Avon leads Center Grove 2-0. We're headed to the bottom of 2. Kevin Conrad, Rick Embry with you today. For the Center Grove Trojans, it'll be the number 7, 8, and 9 batters. It'll be Grant Sawa, the junior catcher, and he's got quite a workout in already today.
A couple new bruises probably on his arms or chest. Grant had a good first ball game at Columbus East with a couple hits as well and an RBI.
Takes a cut at that first pitch.
I think that was one area that Coach Hatfield and also his dad Steve was a little bit worried about last year, was the hitting side of things. Would Grant be able to adjust and hit at the varsity level? And he had a very, very good season, 279 hitting.
Also had a home run, another good cut. He's getting his cuts in. I like it. He's being aggressive. 1 ball, 2 strikes.
Good pitch on the outside part of the plate, a little tailing fastball there by Eck from that left side.
5 doubles last year for Sawa. 14 runs batted in.
And you know what he did last year, Kevin. You look up those stats. He came close to breaking Matthew Sauter's older brother, Ryan, has the career record for Center Grove for hit by pitches. And Sawa came really close last year to breaking that, and he starts it off here again. Just turns his backside like what you're supposed to on a curveball, and it just glances off of there.
So he is aboard, hit by the pitch. Evan Zapp, junior DH, lefty. Strike 1.
Yeah, this is the one spot in the lineup that Center Grove, has a new person in from last year. Last year it was most of the time it was Curry, Caden Curry, like we talked about, and then Jacob Ferguson a little bit as well from the DH side of things, and Evan. It'll probably be shared between Evan and Noah Coy, a sophomore as well, but. So we'll see Evan lefty on lefty matchup.
Always difficult for the batter. From the stretch, the 1-1 pitch. This one comes across high. 2 balls, 1 strike. Starting to see some sunshine here at Trojan Field. Peeking through the clouds.
Oh, he's going.
Yeah, he takes off for second.
He's there.
Like most catchers, he's got great speed. I'm just telling you. He's got a great jump. Knows how to read the pitcher.
That right there was how that base was stolen, was great jump. I mean, he absolutely read that, and really catcher Baltieri didn't have a chance on that one. Great jump by Grant, and he gets now in a scoring position with nobody out.
Zap with a count of 2 balls, 2 strikes. Outside, full count.
Just seen a steady diet. I think mostly curveballs. 4 out of the 5 pitches have been breaking balls from X. So now we'll see as Zap has run the count full. We'll see if he sticks with that breaking ball to try to get Zap out.
Full counts. Payoff pitch.
Nope.
He's high with it. He's aboard with a walk.
Great at bat by Evan there. Tried to get him a couple times. Got down in the count. Tried to get him to chase on those curveballs on the outside part of the plate. He did not. And then a 3-2 fastball went
number
high.
1, Sam Griffith.
Second walk allowed by Eck. Sam Griffith batting in the 9-hole today. Senior second baseman. Almost like just like a leadoff batter.
Yep, that's exactly right, Kevin.
With his speed and ability to put the bat on the ball.
Yeah, last year he was 352, 4 triples, 29 RBIs, 39 runs scored. Oh, it's a great bunt.
Only plays at first base.
Oh, great dig.
Wonderful scoop. He's out at first base, but the sac bunt is perfect by Griffith, advancing the runners to second and third base.
Everything you said is a great bunt and a great scoop at first base, because that very well could have got by Riley, and Center Grove would have had 1, maybe 2 runs there. But a great bunt starting off by Sam.
Top of the order, Tyler Cerny grounded out to the shortstop back in the first. This one gets under the wickets of the catcher, and the run will score. The Trojans are on the board. Great aggressive base running by Grant Sawa. Did not miss a beat. As soon as that ball went through the wickets, he was on his horse, and he scores the first run for the Trojans. And Zap will advance to third base on the play as well.
Yep, that's small ball getting you a run there. A hit by pitch, a stolen base, a sacrifice bunt, and then a pass ball. And you're on the board, and you're still in business here. Top of the order, Cerny up, one of your best hitters, and you got Zap sitting at third base with only 1 out.
Fouled off by Tyler. Tried to check his swing, didn't quite do it in time. 1 ball, 1 strike to the senior shortstop. Tying run at third base. And Cerny, another
score him in at least.
Another ground ball to the shortstop, and another good scoop by the first baseman. He's been busy over there. That's Kyle Riley. 2 scoops and 2 outs. Run scores. We're tied 2-2.
Good job of picking him up. Tyler just put it in play, hit it to shortstop,
Number 13,
and once again an
Culbertson.
outstanding scoop there at first base by Riley. That's 2. He might be happy to see this turf as well, because he's not going to get those true hops if it's a dirt field more than likely, but 2 great scoops there at first base.
Number 2 batter Drew Culbertson grounded out to the second baseman back in the first. Strike 1 here to Culbertson. Game tied 2 apiece here in the bottom of 2. This one's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. Now we're seeing a lot of sunshine now here at Trojan Park.
You know, great job with the field. Obviously, Scott Knapp and his group with Katie in the AD office. Huge kudos to those guys. But, you know, there's only one gripe I have today, Kevin, and that's with Mr. Knapp and this press box here. You know, I sent a request about 10:30 asking for a space heater for the broadcast team. You know, kind of help with our comfort and you know, that didn't happen. So I'm assuming he either didn't get my text or it's on order or something like that. But we'll see if he can get one of those for the next game.
I think I heard Scott blocked your number.
He wouldn't be the first.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Culbertson. This one's high. 2-2 the count. Trojans today playing 2. They have Avon here in the first game, and then around that 5 o'clock hour, they'll take on Terre Haute North. Game 2 today, Avon will take on Terre Haute North. This one's fouled off. And what's interesting, of course, the Trojans here in baseball The inaugural game on this new turf against Avon, and then Center Grove softball getting new turf. Its inaugural game is scheduled for April 21st, also against Avon. So Avon, the opponent for Center Grove's new turf fields in softball and baseball.
Yeah, you think that has anything to do with, former Center Grove principal Matt Shockley being out in Avon? Did he talk sweet to Knapp or somebody like that to make that happen?
I don't know. Well, he goes after the high one. First strikeout for the junior pitcher, Daniel Eck. Trojans come up with two big ones here in the bottom of two to get this game tied with Avon. We're headed to the third here at Trojan Park. Today's game being presented by Cooper's Water. Big thank you to our sponsor today, Cooper's Water, family owned and established in 1980. Cooper's Water has national brand name whole house water softeners, reverse osmosis drinking water systems, and iron filters that last for years without interruption. Owned and operated by a Center Grove resident and licensed plumber Chris Griffith. They offer the highest quality water treatment products with the best warranty at affordable prices. Proudly serving Center Grove, Johnson County, and all of Central Indiana. Big thank you to Cooper's Water for being our presenting sponsor today for CG Baseball.
I got some homework for you, Kevin, for the next game. You need to go home, do a little research on reverse osmosis. And I want either a diagram that we can put on the screen in between innings. Or
you know what I'm going to be doing. I'll be texting your son, Grant Embry, Mr. Robotics, Mr. Perfect ACT score. I'll say, Grant, can you help me out here? Make me look good for your dad. No, we appreciate
absolutely
Mr. Chris Griffith for being one of our top presenting sponsors again this year for Trojan Baseball. Sponsored a lot of games last year, so appreciate their sponsorship again this season. Being able to bring CG Baseball to those that, for whatever reason, can't be here. They live too far away and so forth, but really appreciate his sponsorship.
Might be some that are still in the little warmer climates today before they drive back to reality here in Indiana and get back to school next week. Center Grove finishing up a second week of vacation and spring break. But yeah, not too many people better person than Chris. Chris is a fantastic guy and very supportive of Center Grove baseball.
Kyle Riley at the plate. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Strikeout number 4 for Jacob Wilson.
I like to see that. He just came after him, and hopefully, Wilson able to get out of that last inning with
number 15, Chris
minimal damage, honestly. He had 2 runs in, and the bases were still loaded. As he got into the number 2 and number 3 hitters and was able to get out of that with only two runs against him. So hopefully he can have a good inning here, and he probably is pretty close, pitch count-wise. By my unofficial count, he was at 58 after 2 innings, so you're probably not going to see either one of these guys get much past, I would bet, 70 or 80 here in game 1 in these cold conditions.
2 balls, no strikes. 2 balls, no strikes to Chris Condis, number 5 batter. Walked and scored the first run for Avon back in the second. Low?
I don't know where that was.
That one looked pretty good to me. Maybe a smidge low.
I just got a text, Kevin. One of our faithful followers, Moose Peters, is driving back from Florida listening to us. So.
There's a strike.
Said he was laughing, and judging by Moose's laugh, we can probably hear him all the way back, wherever he is on the trip.
Appreciate Moose and all the fans out there watching today, whether it be Center Grove fans, Avon fans, or just high school baseball fans. We appreciate all of you. 3 balls, 2 strikes. Boy, we had a great web stream last night. CG softball hosting Pendleton Heights. Great crowd on hand for that one, and also a great crowd watching online as well. That one fouled away. Count remains full.
Like you said, the softball field not only getting new turf, but new bleachers and a new press box as well. That all looks like that's going to be done by that 21st game. So really looking forward to seeing how everything looks over there at the softball fields as well. And Coach Coleman got a little bit of a younger team this year, but with the schedule that they play, it's sometimes difficult to see the win-loss progress, but that team will be ready to go by county and by sectional time as well.
6 walk allowed by Jacob Wilson as Condis is aboard with his 2nd walk today. So with 1 gone, runner at first, the number 6 batter, Miguel Guerres, at the plate, sophomore. He walked and scored back in the 2nd.
Yeah, Carreras has yet to see a strike. He's 5 straight balls against him.
Ground ball, could be 2. Cerny's going to take it himself.
Yep.
Wow.
Pitcher's best friend right there, Kevin.
Double play ball. That was impressive by Tyler Cerny. Unassisted. Took it himself. Well done. Headed to the bottom of 3. The Center Grove Trojans and the Avon Orioles tied at 2 apiece here at Trojan Field in the inaugural game on the new turf. It looks beautiful, especially now with the sun out. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball presented by Cooper's Water.
Tyler, where did all these old busted up furnaces come from?
Well, Chad, they're from our customers. They really love our free furnace promo.
I don't know if we can keep this up much longer.
Free furnace blowout. Your final chance. Get a free Bryant furnace from Peterman when you buy a qualifying new AC system. This deal will end soon.
Whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Text furnace to 72345 for your free furnace now.
Rick had to take a peek at the temperature. We started off at 43 degrees at game time. It's now 47. We're getting a little closer to that 50-degree mark. Sun is out. That doesn't mean Rick Embry's guns are out.
Nope. You're not going to see those. Though the pool is open, Kevin. Pool got open this week, just in time for these 43-degree temperatures. And
what are we going to do? A little ice skating?
Yeah, that's what we could have done.
A little bit of hockey.
Snow on, Friday morning walking outside. Yep.
I know. I saw that. Woke up Friday morning. I go, we got Center Grove softball. And I go, we got snow on the deck. Oh, my gosh, we had like a powdering of snow.
Oh, there was nothing, no April Fools for you, Kevin.
No. And again, with softball, with the new field under construction, they're playing on the JV field, so that means no press box. You know me, Mr. Softy.
Yes.
Had to do the first couple of softball games outside, and last night it was a little cold. I'll say that. I'll admit. Now, Wednesday against Zionsville, you're talking about mid-70s. It was a beautiful game for the home opener. But last night, extra innings, temperatures in the 40s. It was a little chilly sitting outside. We got a full count here to Mitchell Evans. Mitchell back in the first had the single, stranded at third though, and he's aboard with a walk. Great eye by Mitchell.
That was a good eye because he easily could have chased that one. He did exactly what you do. 3-1 pitch. He took a healthy home run swing at that 3-1 pitch, didn't get a hold of it. And then on 3-2, just a great eye there. So leadoff guy on again for the second inning in a row for Center Grove.
Number 4 batter, Owen Guilfoy, also singled back in the first. Takes this one down and in for ball 1. Avon jumped ahead of the Trojans, 2-0 in the top of 2.
Good lead at first by Evans.
Trojans, a great response. A couple of runs in the bottom of 2.
Eck did a good job there. A little slide step, which is a little bit different than his normal wind up there to try to prevent the runner at first base from getting that good jump like Sawa did the last inning. Still a big lead at first.
2 balls, 1 strike here to Guilfoy. Called a strike.
A little bit different. Center Grove does the Coach Hatfield is not at third base. He's in the dugout. But he's the one giving the signals. You got Coach Carpenter at third base there. So they're looking at the in the dugout for Coach Hatfield.
Off the handle, kind of a weak line drive to the second baseman. He makes the catch. Quick throw to first, but Mitchell Evans back in safely at first base. 1 gone. Rick, another update from Terre Haute North High School. The Center Grove Trojans
Number
softball
12,
team
Garrison Burrell
leads Terre Haute South 4-2. Top of the 5th inning, Riley Janda now hitting a home run. So Lex Warner hit one early on for the Trojans, and now Riley Janda has a home run for the CG. So again, CG softball leading Terre Haute South 4-2. They're playing 2 today. After they play South, they'll play Terre Haute North at about 2:30. Swing and a miss by Garrison Burrell, number 5 batter for the Trojans. But you're right about Center Grove softball. Young team, a lot of talent. There goes Mitchell Evans.
Great jump as well, yeah.
Takes second base easily. Always stealing off the pitchers. Never steal off the catcher. No, that was a great jump. Just like, was it Grant Sawwall that got a great jump last inning?
Yeah, I was looking. That was Sawa's first career stolen base at the varsity level. So kudos to him. Mitchell last year was 15 for 16 in steals, so he gets his, I believe, first one.
Ooh, hit to the right side of the field, bobbled, and no play. E on the second baseman. That's got to go down as an E on Chris Condis.
Yeah, that ball came up on him a little bit at the very end, and I think Condis also was worried that with Burrell's speed that he needed to hurry a little bit and juggled it. And
now batting number
Center
14,
Grove's got
Matthew
2 on, 1
Sauter.
out with Matthew Sauter at the plate. Got to figure they're not even holding Burrell on at first base, which is a little bit surprising. He's just going. Now he moves over. Oh, and he's picked off.
He's going to take off for second
Except they
base.
didn't hit him. Yeah,
he's there. Too much speed. He's into second base. You're right. They kind of threw in behind him, and he just took off at first movement by the pitcher.
That's a lot of times what you'll see even at the major league level. Those guys will just go on first movement by that left-handed pitcher. And Burrell got a good jump, and, I mean, they had him picked off, but Riley didn't even bother throwing it to second base.
So runners at second and third. Mitchell Evans took a couple of steps to home plate. Realized they did not get that far away from the catcher, so did the right thing. He retreats back to third base. And
gave it a peek, but you're right. It didn't get very far away there.
Rick, did you take a deep breath? I'm smelling the hamburgers off the grill already. Holy cow. It's time for lunch, right? Got Sam Venegas, our good friend up here. He's going to run and get us some hamburgers in just a moment.
The good man Sam is.
Get us some hamburgers. I could just tell they fired up the grill.
Jenny Coy and her group over there always do a great job of
top notch. That is for sure. 1-1 the count. Sauter to the shortstop. A run will score. Trojans take the lead. Sauter thrown out at first base, but he gets the job done. Rick, he gets the run in.
You're exactly right, and I thought that one might squeeze through there, but and then Sauter also really good wheels there running to first base. About beat that out, but that throw did beat him by a step. But more importantly, RBI there for Center Grove, and they take their first lead of the ballgame.
2 gone. Burrell at third base. Center Grove in front, 3-2.
And for the second inning in a row, Kevin, runs without the benefit of a hit for Center Grove.
Grant Sawa hit by the pitch, got a stolen base, scored the first run in today's game for the Trojans. Ball 1 to Grant. Trojans' first lead in today's game. Eck from the stretch. 2 balls, no strikes.
Yeah, Eck's another one that's probably pretty close to being done. He had 51 pitches through 2 innings and has thrown about 15 so far in this bottom of the third. So this might be his last inning of work as well. Right back at us, Kevin.
Love this new net. Backstop. Beats the old fence. 2 balls, 1 strike.
It's a good cut by Grant on 2-0.
From the stretch and now to the plate. He's high. Nope. High strike.
High late strike, too. Thought about it for a minute, and then 2-2 now.
Shakes off the catcher, and Grant says, I'm stepping out and asking for time. Daniel Eck, the junior lefty, ready to go, and Grant fouls it off. Also with this new backstop, with this new netting, it hopefully will do a better job keeping a lot of these foul balls in play here, at least from going into the wooded area. Lose a lot of baseballs throughout the season because of the tree line around the field here, down that first base line. Deuce is wild. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 gone. High fly ball, left center. And it's going to be called and caught by the center fielder. He had to run a long way. That's Nate Simpson, the junior, but he does bring it in. So the Center Grove Trojans get a run here in the third to take their first lead of the ball game, 3-2 over the Avon Orioles in the home opener. Today's game being presented by Cooper's Water. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball.
Tyler, where did all these old busted up furnaces come from?
Well, Chad, they're from our customers. They really love our free furnace promo.
I don't know if we can keep this up much longer.
Free furnace blowout. Your final chance. Get a free Bryant furnace from Peterman when you buy a qualifying new AC system. This deal will end soon.
Whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Text furnace to 72345 for your free furnace now.
Headed to the top of the fourth here at Trojan Park. Center Grove in front of the Avon Orioles, 3-2. Trojans, couple of hits. 1 hit for the Orioles.
Top of the fourth inning, leading off for Avon, number 8, Cannon Van Dever.
7-8-9 for the Orioles. Camden Van Dever struck out back in the second. He'll lead things off for the Orioles.
Wilson back out here for his 4th inning of action. He's at 71 pitches, really helped last inning by only having 13 pitches and helped by that unassisted double play there by Tyler Cerny at shortstop that bailed him out of that 1-out walk that he had.
So we sent Sam over to that CG baseball concession stand and get us some cheeseburgers. I just all of a sudden could smell the grill fired up, and I'm like, wow.
You couldn't send him quick enough, Kevin. I'm trying to still smell the cheeseburgers or whatever, and man, you must have the The smeller must be working overtime or something.
2-1 the count. Hey, it's that time of the year. I don't care if it's 40-some degrees.
You got the cheeseburgers, and Steve McClure usually is hitting up the popcorn.
There you go.
Wherever he is. That's year-round. He's hitting up the popcorn.
3-1 the count. Jacob Wilson, 4 strikeouts, 6 walks, allowed the one hit batter, fouled away. Season opener for Avon. They play in the Hoosier Crossroads Conference. That's
the best baseball
probably the
conference,
best conference in baseball. Fishers, I think a lot of polls ranked number 1 in the state.
Oh, great job by Sawa there, hanging on to that tipped third strike.
5 punch-outs for the senior, Jacob Wilson.
That was a good job of coming back after being down
Number
3-1
10,
there.
Dylan Hummel.
But, yeah, you're right, Kevin. Westfield, Zionsville, HSC Fishers, who was a preseason number 1 this year, and they were the runner-up last year, state champion. Brownsburg, obviously, a storied tradition as well. And then there's one other school that I don't know if they have any baseball history or anything like that that also is in that.
My alma mater.
Oh, yeah, that's the one.
I see where you're going with this. Franklin Central.
Now, I want to make sure Franklin Central people that are a current baseball team, I'm just joking around there. I don't want that to go on a bulletin board or anything like that. It's just my partner in crime here, Kevin Conrad, is a Franklin Central alum. So way back many years ago, before those kids were even a thought.
2 balls, 1 strike. Number 8 batter. This is Dylan Hommel, left fielder. Walked back in the second in his first plate appearance. He's ahead in the count here, 3-0. Played Center Grove a few times. Boy, they were really good back in the late 80s. Dave Gandolf Jr., big left-handed pitcher, went on to pitch for IU. I was at least 2 strikeout victims for Gandolf, I'll say that much, my junior year. Big lefty, he could bring it. 3-2 now the count. Ground ball, Cerny at short.
Nice
throws
job.
a strike to Guilfoy, 2 gone.
Another nice job, big pitch on 3-2 that Wilson's able to get. 2 straight batters on 3-2 pitches.
What I remember
Number
my
25,
junior varsity
Jerry
year, sophomore, we played it here at Center Grove. They let the students do the PA, and they would make up names. So when I got up to play, instead of Conrad, they called me Conan. Of course, Conan the Barbarian, the great movie back in the 80s. And oh, wow.
Smoked.
Deep right field,
Evans
but Evans is under it. Makes the catch. Just a long out, Rick Embry. Sounded good coming off the bat.
It sounded really good coming off that bat. But 3 up, 3 down. His first, I guess the last 2 innings have been 3 up, 3 down. Even the last inning was a double play. But a good response these last 2 innings by Jacob Wilson.
We're headed to the bottom of 4 here at Trojan Field. Center Grove in front of Avon, 3-2 in the home opener. We'll take a break. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball being presented by Cooper's Water.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Trojans lead at 3-2 over Avon. Sun is out. Turf looks beautiful. And in this inaugural game on the new turf here at Center Grove. And Rick Embry, we have some changes here for the Avon Orioles. The day for Daniel Eck, the junior lefty, is done. He'll give way now to the second baseman. Chris Condis now comes in to pitch.
Yeah, Condis did pitch last year, 2-1 on the year, 2.55 ERA, 22 innings pitched, 18 hits given up, 8 earned runs, 10 walks, 22 strikeouts, so 1 strikeout per inning pitched. Did give up a couple homers on the year, but Condis a really nice ERA last year.
Evan Zapp at the plate, rips one foul. And Rick, some other changes here for Avon. So does Correa go to second base?
Yeah, it looks like Correa's at second base, and then they brought in Joe Huffman, who was the DH, brought him into shortstop.
Shortstop. Thank you very much.
So no changes in their batting order. Just Eck departs.
So the cheeseburgers have arrived. I'm just going to hold on to it for a bit to
All
warm up my hands.
You got this inning, Kevin. Don't mind the eating sounds in the background, fans.
Oh, my. Oh, wow. Zapp turns on one deep right field, and it's going to one-hop over the fence.
Wow.
He's got a stand-up double, ground rule double for Evan Zapp. How about that?
Wow, that ball was smoked, and that kept going. And you're right, Kevin. We're probably going to see that quite a bit with that fence being so not very tall. You're going to get, obviously, the bigger bounces on this turf here, and I think Zapp probably would have had a stand-up double, but he had a chance with his wheels to get 3 there. So, but nice lead-off double by the junior Evan Zapp.
Hit number 3 for the Trojans. Trojans had a couple of singles back in the first with Mitchell Evans and Owen Guilfoy, but no hits in the second and third innings. And Zapp again doubles to begin the fourth for the Trojans. Sam Griffith at the plate, had a sac bunt back in the second.
Yeah, his sac bunt was huge to get those 2 runners in scoring position, and then they came around and scored on a pass ball and then a ground out by Tyler Cerny.
Condis works from the stretch. Oh, that came right back at us.
I still flinch every time that happens, Kevin. I don't care what's in front of me. That's why I could never be a home plate umpire, is
or a catcher.
among other reasons. There probably wouldn't be anybody. There'd be a lot of people ejected if I was a home plate umpire, but the flinching thing every time.
1 ball, 1 strike. Griffith puts it in play. Right field shallow. Right fielder comes on. Shable Jr. makes the catch. 1 gone.
Yeah, not very deep there. Griffith got jammed a little bit. Nice pitch by Condis, and pretty shallow in right field, and Zapp tagged, but there was no chance of him
Top
going
the order
third
for the
base.
Trojans, now batting number 24, Tyler Cerny.
Tyler Cerny still looking for that first hit today. Had a couple of hits in Wednesday's tie against Columbus East. A couple of ground outs, RBI back in the second. Cerny committed to play baseball at Indiana University. Just concluded his senior season of basketball.
Honorable mention All-County. I saw the All-County team came out today, Kevin. Marcus Ankney on that first team, and then a few players that were honorable mention. Cerny, Jordan Vaughns, Shane Bennett, I think were the 3 that I saw.
Zapp really creating some havoc here for Condis, getting a nice lead at second base. Foul tip.
Condis has definitely got a lot of breaking balls that he's thrown so far. So I think, a team like Center Grove that returns a lot of guys, that's probably the type of pitcher that I'm trying to throw, is a guy that just throws some junk and just hope you can keep them off speed and change speeds, and that's a balk. He just balked.
So Zapp will go to third base.
And he started his windup twice. That was the problem. He was already in the set position on the rubber, and then he came to the set position again. So home plate umpire saw that. Pretty easy call. And now Zapp gets over and third base with less than 2 outs. A guy you got to pick up here and try to get an insurance run on the board.
Cerny has a count of 1 ball, 1 strike. Again, 1 out. In the bottom of the 4th inning, Zapp leads off this inning with a ground rule double over the right center field fence. Got that one bounce over, and Cerny turns on one to left field. It's going deep, and it is out of here. Home run for Tyler Cerny.
Wow, that ball was smoked to left field, and couldn't quite tell, Kevin. Did that hit the scoreboard or one of the poles? I mean, your eyesight's a little bit better than mine, but that was kind of a no-doubter. Left fielder took 3 or 4 steps back, and then he ran out of space. So home run number 1 on the season, Tyler Cerny from that leadoff position.
It bounced. I don't know if it hit the top of the fence, but it kind of came back to the player. It looked like the left fielder got the ball back, and it was just right of the scoreboard.
Yeah.
But I think if it hits that white part of the fence, is that considered a home run? I don't know.
You're going to have to have pretty good eyesight from a umpire standpoint.
Sure.
To see that. Oh, and then Culberson just got hit.
So he's hit by the pitch. He's aboard.
Ball just kind of scooted into the – and now pitching coach going to come out and talk to Condis. A little bit rough start for him here in the bottom of the 4th inning.
Trojans 4 hits in the ball game, and that's the 2nd hit batter by the Avon pitching staff today. Culbertson, a ground out, a strikeout, and now hit by the pitch at first base.
Yeah, that ball just tailed inside. Condis got away from him a little bit and just ticked the inside of Drew's jersey there. So he gets on first base. And you know what's going to happen here, Kevin, as I see you trying to sneak in a bite of that cheeseburger and expecting me to talk through this. I think Cindero's going to put about 15 on the board here in the bottom of the 4th, so I can't open that
now
cheeseburger.
Batting number 11, Mitchell Evans.
I'd look to see Culberson get in motion here. He's got a big lead. He's leaning big time.
Yeah. Outside, wild pitch. Culbertson, second base. Rick, another update on Center Grove softball. Again, they're playing in Terre Haute against Terre Haute South, top of the 5th. Freshman, there's one freshman on the roster, on the varsity roster.
Sydney Herman.
Sydney Herman gets her first hit, a solo home run.
Good for Sydney. That's
6-2 Trojans lead it.
One of my daughter Ashley's good friends, and she's been a softball stud for her whole life since she was little, and good to see her get her first varsity home run. That's, 3 homers on the day for the Trojans?
Mm-hmm. Lex Warner, Riley Janda, and now Sydney Herman.
Mitchell sitting on a 2-0 count. Condis struggling.
Mitchell takes that one on the outer part of the plate. I think it was a good one to lay off of.
Culberson had a good jump. Looked like he might try to steal third on that one.
2 balls, 1 strike to Mitchell Evans.
I mean, keeping him at second, that leaves a big hole there at shortstop with the shortstop trying to keep him close.
Mitchell, a single back in the first, walked in the third.
Oh, that was a balk too. Yes.
So he will go to third base on the second balk.
It was like he stepped like he was trying to step towards third because, I mean, and that's all Culberson back at second that's kind of jabbing and kind of taking a couple steps towards third, and Condis just stepped more towards third and then threw the ball home. So Condis kind of rattled right now. 2-1 pitch, and Culberson now at third base, the second balk of the inning by Condis.
Continues to work from the stretch. Outside. 3 balls, 1 strike.
this is where Mitchell's looking for a pitch that he can deposit where Cerny put his out there in left field. If he doesn't get it, he just lets it go, and then he gets ready for the 3-2 pitch, or he walks.
He is aboard. Second walk today for Mitchell Evans.
Perfect on the game, 1 for 1 with 2 walks. Been on 3 times, Mitchell has. I would expect Center Grove to put him in motion as well.
Now
Probably on the first
Owen
pitch.
Guilfoy.
Owen Guilfoy, 1 for 2 today. A single back in the first, lined out to the second baseman in the third. 1 out. Condis struggling with the control. In relief here for the Avon Orioles. There goes Evans, and they do throw to second. They cut it off with the second baseman, so Mitchell Evans takes second base. Gets his second stolen base today.
Yep. Pitch was high as well to Guilfoy, so 1-0 count to Owen, and he's got an opportunity to get a couple more runs on the board for Center Grove here. Second and third, 1 out. I guess that was called a strike.
Runners at second and third here for Guilfoy. The 0-1 pitch, it's high, 1-1.
Well, you've taken 3 bites of that burger, Kevin. You got
double thumbs up. Oh my! I might have to send Sam to go get some more.
Round 2.
Really good, right off the grill.
All right, I want to have Sam sit in for me. He can do the color commentary here. If I see you take another bite.
2-1 the count. Owen Guilfoy. He's ripping, and it's up the middle for a base hit. 2 runs will score. 2 ribbies for Owen Guilfoy.
Attaboy, Owen. Just went straight up the middle, and I didn't know if Huffman was going to dive and try to get to that, but scooted by him too quickly, and a big 2 RBI single for Owen Guilfoy, his second hit of the ball game.
Number 12, Garrison Burrell.
Culbertson scores. Evans scores. 7-2 Trojans. Garrison Burrell, number 5 batter.
He about balked again. Condis.
Burrell walk and reached on an error. On base percentage looking pretty good today, but he's due for a hit. So, Rick, what is up with this? The things they put on when they become base runners, some of these guys.
It's to
sliding
protect.
mitts?
Yeah, it's to protect your hands because. And I remember when I slid, I always slid head first, and that's not the best thing to do, as people have told me now. But that's how you jam fingers. That's how you get, strawberries or whatever you want to call them on your hands and stuff. So they put them on their hands so that when they do slide into bases or dive into bases, then you don't jam fingers, sprain wrists, that kind of stuff.
I'm old school.
That's a fact, Kevin. We both are old school.
And Guilfoy takes second base. The ball was in the
Yeah, it was a wild pitch.
dirt, so good job by Guilfoy to be aggressive. He swipes second base. Yeah, wild pitch.
But yeah, I mean, to be honest, Kevin, the reason why you see him at the high school level is because you see him at the pro level. You see a lot of those base stealers, especially, will put that big. It just looks like a big oven mitt that they put on.
Correct.
On their hands. Billy Hamilton was the first one, a big Reds base stealer from a few years ago that I used to see put those on and wonder what in the world does he have on. But that's just to protect their hands, their fingers, their wrists.
1 ball, 2 strikes to Burrell. Guilfoy in scoring position at second base. A swing and a miss. Condis gets his first strikeout. Just the second Trojan to strike out today. 2 gone. I would say I did slide head first also, and I remember
14,
getting a pretty bad jam finger from doing that. So
that was from sliding, not from your catching. No. You would think that
I probably got more injuries from sliding than catching. I was pretty fortunate behind the plate. Off-speed pitch. Out in front, Matthew Sauter. 0 for 2, but did get the RBI back in the third.
Yeah, his RBI put Center Grove up 3-2, their first lead of the ball game. Ground ball to shortstop.
Outside. 1-1 the count to Matthew Sauter, senior left fielder.
Good lead by Guilfoyle there at second. Conda's spending a lot of time looking at him.
Guilfoyle on the ball in the dirt, takes off for third and being very aggressive again. He's in there.
Well, and it's just good base running because he sees it get away from him, and you got to make the determination. If you're going to go, you're going to go, and that's twice that Owen now has went from first to now third base on those wild pitches that didn't get away much from the catcher, but enough to move him up, and now he's 90 feet away.
Outside. 3-1 the count to Sauter.
Sauter doing a very good job of laying off that curveball by Condas. It's starting in the middle of the plate, but it's ending out in the left-handed hitter's batter's box, and Sauter's done a good job of laying off that. Now he's sitting on a good hitter's pitch at 3-1.
Conda's little chin music. Jumps out of the way. Sauter's aboard with a walk. Runners at the corners for the Trojans. 2 gone.
And now you'll see if Coach Hatfield tries to steal the run a little bit here by sending Sauter on that first pitch to either get him in scoring position as well, or maybe get Guilfoyle home on the back into that double steal.
Grant Sawa hit by the pitch in the second. Stolen base, scored in the second. A fly out to center field in the third. And on deck is Evan Zapp. He started this inning for the Trojans with that ground rule double and scored. The first of 4 runs for the Trojans in this inning. Lifts it up into right field. Called out by Shable, the junior, and he makes the catch. Big inning for the Center Grove Trojans. Putting up 4 on the scoreboard. They lead at 7-2 as we complete 4 innings here at Trojan Field on the new turf. Today's game being presented by Cooper's Water. This is Trojan Baseball. Again, a big thank you to Chris Griffith, owner of Cooper's Water. Family owned and established in 1980, Cooper's Water has national brand name whole house water softeners, reverse osmosis drinking water systems, and iron filters that last for years without interruption. Owned and operated again by CG resident licensed plumber Chris Griffith. They offer the highest quality water treatment products with the best warranty at affordable prices. Proud to serve the Center Grove community, Johnson County, and all of central Indiana. For more information, Cooper's Water. Check them out online, cooperswaterconditioning.com. Aiden Murphy in relief for the Center Grove Trojans on the mound. Jacob Wilson gives way.
And top of the order for the Orioles. Now batting number
7-2 lead, though, for Aiden Murphy. So all he's got to do, Rick, come in and throw a lot of strikes and let your defense behind you do some work.
Yeah, that'll do it for, like you said, Jacob Wilson, a good, strong last couple innings after that rough second inning. But Here's Wilson's line on the day. 4 innings pitched. They only gave up 1 hit. 2 runs, both of them earned. The big stat, obviously, 6 walks, 1 hit by pitch, and 5 strikeouts. But like I said, Wilson battled back and did a really good job in those last 2 innings, 6 ups and 6 down for Avon. And like you said, now it's up to Aiden Murphy to come in and throw strikes. And speaking of that, we talked a little bit about that first game down at Columbus East, but the guy that was really impressive coming out of the pen was Elijah Masterson. He came in that bottom of the 2nd inning, bases loaded, 2 out, got a guy out on 1 pitch, and then he proceeded to pitch the next 4 innings and do a really good job and only gave up 2 runs. So credit out of that bullpen. And that's one thing also, in addition to have a lot of returning hitters this year, is Center Grove has a lot of arms out of that bullpen that they'll use.
Aiden Murphy, senior, right-handed relief pitcher, working from the stretch. 2 balls, actually now make that full count. 3 balls, 2 strikes.
And we might be in trouble, Kevin. Mr. Knapp just showed up. He might have heard the commentary that I said about him in that first couple innings.
Ground out to Owen Guilfoyle, takes it himself. 1 gone. Takes care of Shable.
Number 2, Joe Huffman.
Good job by Murphy getting that first guy out. Works very quickly out on that mound.
So, Rick, do you agree?
I scarfed about 4 bites there in that short break in between innings, and I think you're right. You do need to send Sam back for round 2 here shortly. Yeah.
Those cheeseburgers are the greatest off the grill. Ooh, a shot to right field by Huffman. His first hit, 2nd hit of the day for the Avon Orioles.
Just went with the pitch there. Murphy fastball on the outside part of the plate, and credit Huffman for just driving that ball to right field. So yeah, his first hit of the season as well as the ball game.
Again, season opener for Avon for the Trojans. Home opener, CG opened the season Wednesday down at Columbus East against the Olympians. Number 3 batter Nate Simpson, junior center fielder, 0 for 2 today. Struck out looking back in the first and a fly out to left. Murphy, first pitch is a ball, and now checks the runner back to first base. He's in there safely.
Yeah, Simpson barely missed a grand slam there in the 2nd inning, bases loaded, and he yanked 1 foul that was very deep. Oh, my, I don't know where that pitch was.
Grant saw while the catcher kind of turned a little bit just to check with the umpire where that might have been. Looked pretty good from our viewpoint. 2-0 pitch. He's hacking at it. Fouls it away.
Down that left field line where we got new bleachers down there. Those bleachers came from the softball field in their whole redevelopment or redesign over there. So it's great to see additional bleachers down both the left field line.
We'll be talking to CGAD Scott Knapp here in just a bit between innings. So the CG softball team in the bottom of the 6th, leading Terre Haute South 8-2. Try and get a bounce-back win today after a tough loss last night at home against a very good Pendleton Heights team. Lost 8-6 in 8 innings last night. 3 balls, 1 strike. Number 3 batter, Simpson, right up the middle. Back-to-back singles here for the Orioles, and they're in business with runners at first and second. Again, only 1 out.
But it's still something you'd rather see them having 2 guys on because they had 2 solid base hits versus the walks and the hit by pitch that we've seen
Number
a little
44,
bit from
Kyle
Center Grove,
Riley.
and really just a couple innings this year, and both 2nd innings so far. Wilson settled down after that, but yeah, 2 solid hits there by Avon back to back, and now first and second, and only 1 out with the cleanup hitter Riley up.
Riley hit by the pitch back in the first, struck out in the 3rd.
That's where you need another one of the pitcher's best friends there, a ground ball here, and let's see your infield work.
Cerny got that double play last inning for the Trojans. Up the middle. Off-speed pitch is low. Ball 1. Good eye by Riley. So Center Grove softball today, again, leading 8-2, bottom of 6 against Terre Haute South. Trojans playing some long ball today. 3 home runs in that game so far. Lex Warner Sr. getting the first home run of the season for CG softball. Also Riley Janda, sophomore, with a home run today. And how about freshman Sydney Herman, solo home run for the Trojans. 2 balls, no strikes. Riley there, maybe that double play. Cerny's going to turn it. Boom, boom, boom. Gotta like that. You're right, pitcher's favorite friend right there, best friend, double play. Getting out of the inning. Boy, Avon was threatening, that is for sure. And Rick, I'll let you have a chance now to eat your cheeseburger.
Yes.
Hand the mic over.
Only time I like hearing Scott Knapp talk is when I can eat. So it's all him now.
So Rick's going to eat his cheeseburger. I've got mine about halfway done, if that. So we'll talk to Scott Knapp about this beautiful turf field. And, again, this is the inaugural game today. And Scott, Center Grove Athletic Director, Scott Knapp. And, Scott, again, the sun's out. It's beautiful at the moment. Obviously, it's some cooler temperatures. But all I got to say is wonderful job, and you and Dr. Bill Long and all those involved in getting this done for this home opener. And it's an absolute beautiful facility.
Yeah, it's great. It's something we're very proud of. And you're right, a lot of people put a lot of work into this, specifically Dr. Long, in making this happen. You know, when you talk to the coaches and myself, we have a lot of big dreams and a lot of things we want. But, you know, you got to be realistic about it. And Dr. Long was able to make a lot of this happen just with figuring out where money will come from. And our central office staff just did a great job, both with this facility and with softball. A much needed makeover, if you will. So we're excited what the future will look like for baseball and softball.
Also, softball getting a new turf field as well and some new bleachers. And it's more than just turf field, Scott. Again, talking about bleachers for both baseball and softball and the new netting around the backstop. So it's more than just a turf field out there.
Yeah, it's definitely, like I mentioned, the updates that need to happen. We try to put our kids in a position to have, you know, the best experience possible. When we put them in facilities like these, they're going to have the best experience possible. So again, a credit to everyone involved in making this happen.
We see Evan Zapp leading things off for the Trojans. Led off the last inning for CG with a ground rule double. And Scott, you look around. We have a nice crowd here for this inaugural game. Avon brought a nice crowd. Center Grove always supporting. And I love to see the bleachers that we have down here, the left field line. And that just I like that because, you know, Center Grove baseball hosts the county tournament, the sectional tournament. So there's times where you're going to have some really big crowds here.
For sure. Yeah, we actually recycled those bleachers that came from softball. As Mr. Embry mentioned, we just boxed them in with the red, made them look sharp, up to date, and safe. But yeah, we're hoping to put a bid in for semi-state down the road. That's our goal. And again, when you have facilities like these, we want kids to play on them.
I'll say, you see Mooresville, they have the turf with softball and baseball, and as a result, they've been hosting sectionals and I think semi-state, at least in baseball. And I think when you do these upgrades, that does give you that opportunity to put your name in at least to host possibly a regional or a semi-state and things of that nature. But, again, this is top-notch, first class, and just looks so beautiful. And real quick with softball, I know they're a little bit delayed, but we're targeting April 21st. Also a game against Avon to be the first game, hopefully, for softball on their new turf field.
Yeah, they actually got the bleacher package as well for this year, but it worked out well for softball because they have a bunch of road games coming up. So hopefully, field turf and their crews will be able to get a lot of work done during that time and play catch up. They'll only be missing 3 home games. They'll play on the lower field at the complex, which is actually a nice field in and of itself. So it's worked out well.
Zapp is aboard with a walk. Number 9 batter Sam Griffith at the plate. 1 ball, no strikes. Maybe a word or two about Sam Griffith, Scott. Boy, what an awesome thing he did to raise money, and he had softball and baseball gear donated. What a great young man, and what a great thing that he did to begin this season.
Yeah, Sam's first class, and it's just a tribute to, like you mentioned, our community and the support that they give to donate gently used baseball and softball equipment for kids that are less fortunate, and he just has a big heart and cares about young people and about the game and just giving back. So Sam's going to have a great future. He's going on to Oakland City and going to play baseball. But beyond that, he's just going to be great at life.
Sam with a count of 3 balls, 1 strike. Again, Zapp at first base. Condis working from the stretch. Rips one into center field. The center fielder did a great job, read it well, makes the catch. And now Zapp trying to get back to first, and he does make it back to first. But what a play by Nate Simpson, the junior, in center field to make a nice catch for the Avon Orioles for the first out. And, Scott, how about CG softball today? I know they had a tough one last night, losing to Pendleton Heights in extra innings, but it looks like they're doing a great job bouncing back against Terre Haute South. A couple of youngsters getting some home runs today. We got Sydney Herman, freshman, a home run. I believe maybe her first hit as a varsity player. And then also sophomore, Riley Janda, a home run. And Lex Warner, the veteran, the senior, also getting the first home run of the season for CG. But I know CG softball, they're young, but I think there's a lot of promise there. I think as the season progresses, they're just going to continue to get better.
Yeah, that's for sure. Coach Coleman does a nice job, and it's so early in the season. A lot's going to happen. They play, 28 games, so they just got to get the bats going, find a rhythm, get in a nice routine as far as, their at-bats. They had the bats going against Zionsville a couple nights ago, and last night it was off and on, but close game. They play a tough schedule, and that's all by design. So again, it's early in the season, and they're gonna be okay. They're gonna be all right.
Scott, to wrap up, talking about venues and facilities, the natatorium this year, the Center Grove natatorium, boy, state of the art, just a beautiful facility, and just a great season for both the CG boys and girls swimming and diving teams to send Coach Todd out with sectional titles this year. I think Coach Todd ended up with 55 sectional titles combined for his career. Again, he's retiring, has retired as a coach, and will retire as a teacher at the conclusion of the school year. But, boy, that was a great venue and a great way to send out Coach Todd.
Yeah, there's no better way to send out a coach than winning, both sectionals and boys and girls. And, Franklin has owned that title for the last few years, so it was nice to do that for him. Obviously, he's built that program to what it is today, and when you top it off with being able to spend it in a state-of-the-art facility, winning sectionals, getting a state diver out of it, and sending many kids to the state tournament or the state swim meet is just a reward, and how you should go out.
Tyler Cerny, top of the order, had the 2-run homer back in the 4th inning. Scott, on that, we'll let you go. But, again, thank you for everything that you've done to get this field ready to go. A lot of people putting in a lot of extra time to get this field ready to go, and also Coach Hatfield and his staff. I know the maintenance workers, you name it. It goes down the line, and the companies that put this in. I know I talked to one gentleman. He said a lot of the work is what's underneath, what you don't see, the drainage and the rock, the gravel, the sand, the lime, whatever, all that goes underneath to level this field. I know there was a lot of work that had to be done underneath this turf field.
Yeah, laying out the green stuff was the easy part. It was,
correct.
Like you said, the underneath stuff is what takes some time, and making sure it's level. And
oh my, he hits another one deep center field up against the fence. He makes the catch. That's Nate Simpson with a catch in center, and they did move that center field fence out a little bit.
Yeah, we did. We changed the design a little bit, made it a little deeper, and gave it a little bit more character. Here, hopefully next game you'll see that batter's eye in dead center. So, just waiting to put the windscreen up on that.
Scott, well, I think Rick's now done with his cheeseburger, so we'll let you slide out and let Rick slide back in.
Yeah, we'll put Rick back. He's done. He's got a little ketchup on his shirt, but that's all right. No one can see him. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Scott Knapp, Center Grove AD. That a little mustard blends in with his Purdue jacket. So 2 gone. Runner at first. At the plate, Drew Culbertson off the handle, slow roller. Are they going to call him out? Culbertson didn't run. And I guess they're going to say he's out, and they're going to maybe check with the infield umpire. Culbertson said it went off his foot, so that's why he didn't run. He was in the box and said it went off his foot, but the the umpires are going to talk it over, and a lot of shaking of the head no, and I don't think they're going to do an overrule here, Rick, but Culbertson just didn't run. Said it went off the front of his foot while he was in the batter's box.
Yeah, they're not changing that.
Yeah, it could be a foul ball, but they're not going to make a correction or a change on it, so that will stand. That'll be your third and final out of the inning. Center Grove leads at 7-2 over Avon. After 5 complete, this is Trojan Baseball.
Sports fans, welcome back to Game Time, to pure spirits, to pure sport. Welcome back to high school sports.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and I just want to say, welcome back.
This is Game Time. This is Indiana high school sports. This is your IHSAA.
Top of the sixth, Center Grove in front of Avon, 7-2. Kevin Conrad now rejoined by Rick Embry. You feeling fat? Feeling good?
I'm feeling that was a good appetizer for maybe number 2 or number 3 later.
Cheeseburgers can't go wrong here at the Ball Diamond.
And the sad part is I'm getting texts from Coach Hatfield's brother-in-law, Rob Thompson, who said he hasn't been able to have a cheeseburger because he had a medical procedure. Hasn't been able to have a cheeseburger in a long time, and he's listening to us, and it's making his mouth water. So I apologize for that, Rob, but it was good.
Great to have Scott Knapp on to talk about, again, the upgrades here at Center Grove Baseball and Center Grove Softball, and just great to see the facilities here at Center Grove. Of course, the natatorium and so on, but it's just really top-notch here at Center Grove.
Well, and I mean, Scott's going to be humble about that. Katie's going to be humble about that. But the biggest thing that I took out of what he said in those comments was when we get these facilities, we want kids to play on them. We want kids to play in them. And, whether that's at the regional, the semi-state. I mean, for many years we've hosted the tennis regional and the tennis semi-state and part of the tennis state finals because we have beautiful tennis courts. And, other people come and they're amazed at, how many tennis courts you have. And now, this year they've added the natatorium, and they turned around and had hosted the sectional for the first time in many, many years.
Number 14, Miguel Correa.
There. And now with baseball and softball, there's no reason why the same thing can't happen. So it's beautiful facilities, and Scott does it for the right reasons, and that's for the kids and the kids to play on top-notch stuff. I mean, these kids, all of them that play, summer travel, they're playing up at Grand Park all the time and other facilities that all have the turf and everything like that. And now it's for them to play 20+ home games this year on this turf, it's fantastic. And obviously a big credit to, like you said, Dr. Long and the folks at the front office and to figure out a way to, and the monies to pay for this is fantastic.
So Conda strikes out, first strikeout victim for Aiden Murphy since coming in relief. Correa at the plate with a count of 3 balls, 1 strike. And you're speaking of tennis, the Center Grove girls tennis program will host the state finals this spring. So that's a first in school history to host the state finals in tennis. And then, of course, last spring with COVID and the pandemic issues, the softball championships were not able to be hosted at Purdue. And Center Grove last year hosted the state finals, Class 1, 2, and 3, and 4A in softball. But you're right, the facilities are getting to that point now where you can put your name in the hat to host regional or a semi-state, and heck, all the way up to the state finals, and that's just, again, commend the administration here at Center Grove.
Well, I mean, first of all, you have to have the facilities, obviously, and then second of all, they know what Scott and Katie and that's the second part that has to be part of the mix, and they know, man, that's two just nasty curveballs by Murphy there that has frozen the hitters here in this inning, and 2 strikeouts for Murphy. But, I mean, they know that Katie and Scott and the volunteers that they get, the ticket takers and everybody that takes care of the facilities, have to be present, and you got to have a top-notch organization, and Scott has built that Scott and Katie have built that, and so the state and the IHSA know that they can rely on things to go smoothly. And yeah, you said the girls tennis finals, North Central is asphalting or whatever surface that they put on all of their courts, and that's where it's been. But honestly, North Central is not a very easy place to watch a tennis match, so Center Grove will be a much better place to watch those state finals in girls tennis, and looking forward to that as well.
2 balls, 1 strike to Dylan Hommel, number 8 batter. Walked in his first plate appearance, grounded out in the 4th with the runner at first base, 2 gone. Aiden Murphy. A couple of strikeouts here in this 6th inning. Looking really strong here in relief. How about Tyler Cerny? He's got 2 double plays for the Trojan defense up the middle.
Well, and he'd be sitting here with back-to-back home runs if I can only brag on Scott so much. If he wouldn't have moved that fence back in center field, I think he would have had his second one of the ball game.
And there's a walk.
Just missed one that last inning.
So runners at first and second for the Avon Orioles.
Yeah, this is a big one here because you got the number 9 hitter. I mean, Murphy just needs to come right at him. The last thing you want to do is have them get the bases loaded, and up comes the top of the order, and all of a sudden your 5-run lead is down to 1 or 2. You can't nibble here. Just come right at this guy.
Baltiera at the plate. Ball 1.
Baltieri last time did hit a line drive right at Mitchell Evans that we thought was going to be deeper, and Mitchell tracked that down in right center. I mean, too much nibbling around the outside corner. You got the number 9 hitter, just go right at him.
Wind blowing out to left field. To get a home run at center field now, you really got to put a charge into one. Cerny put a charge into one. I really thought when it came off the bat he had a home run center field, another one.
Yeah, wild pitch there. Runners will move up now, second and third. 3-0 pitch to the number 9 hitter. So Murphy's in danger of walking the bases loaded.
Ball 4, excuse me.
Yeah, that one didn't miss by much, but that's what happens when you're consistently not throwing strikes. Then even if you get a close pitch, the umpire's not going to give you the benefit of the doubt. So now bases loaded for the leadoff.
Shable. 1 for 3 today. Single RBI back in the second. Fly out and a ground out. Chance here to get his team back in this one. Grant Sawalk going down to the knees, keeping that one in front.
Textbook right there.
Mm-hmm. Focus on the batter. Got 2 down. Bases loaded. Outside, 2-0.
Yeah, he suddenly has lost it. I mean, 4 straight to Baltieri, and now 2 straight to leadoff hitter, and you're gonna be in real danger here of bringing the tying run to the plate if you put another guy on. And now we'll also see if, I mean, he's got a couple other options this year, and from what I've heard of guys that are possibilities to pitch, Cerny, Culberson, those guys are possibilities to pitch, from their position, normal position spots. as well this year. So we'll see if he gives Murphy, another guy or two to see if he can get out of this jam.
Coach Hatfield.
Nobody warming up in the left field bullpen, Kevin.
No, just a quick chat with Aiden Murphy. Sometimes you just got to remind the pitcher, relax, throw strikes, let your defense do the work for you. My.
Yeah, now he's getting squeezed, but like I said, that's what happens
when
whenever
you struggle.
Yep.
Right with the umpire, you're right, won't give you much of a break. 3-0 the count. Nowhere to put him with bases loaded. Comes right down the middle with the strike. 3-1 the count. Just need one more out to get out of this inning.
That's a big inning, too, with top of the sixth. Only one more inning for Avon if Center was able to get out of this. Nope.
Line drive, center field. 1 run in. Here comes the second run. The throw from Mitchell Evans.
He's out.
Sawa
What
tagged
a
him
catch.
out. Well done by Grant Sawa.
Avon's got a gripe here as well. I mean, he comes into and doesn't give. Yeah, he's going to talk to him about that.
But Sawa was going after
he's going
the
to get,
throw.
The throw is coming into the baseline, and his complaint is that his runner doesn't have the ability to get around.
The umpire at the moment sticking with the call.
He's not changing that.
Discussion with the Avon coach with the umpires, but great throw by Mitchell Evans. 1 run scores, so it is 7-3. We'll keep you right here for this break. And Mitchell Evans throws it home and put it right on the money to Sawa, and you applied the tag, and that's your third and final out.
I mean, the throw brought Sawa into the third base line, and when I believe it was Hummel was the one sliding. I mean, number one, a fantastic job by Sawa of catching the ball and applying the tag. Avon's coaching staff, the gripe that they have is there's nowhere for our runner to go. And I know at the major league level, that's a rule. You have to give them the ability to get. You can't block in the old days, catchers could block the plate and then just get completely blasted by the runner. Now they're not. They have to give a pathway to the runner to be able to get to the plate. And in that situation, I don't know what you do because he was just going to get the ball, and it's in the baseline. So there won't be any changes or anything, Avon, but a big third out, and all behind the arm of Mitchell Evans, and the nice catch and tag by Grant Sawa from behind that plate.
So with the run scored by Avon, 7-3. As we go now to the bottom of the 6th inning. Center Grove in front. Today's game being presented by Cooper's Water.
Leading off your Trojans, number 11, Mitchell Evans.
Check out Cooper's Water at cooperswaterconditioning.com. Family owned and operated since 1980, over 41 years. Offering plumbing services, water heaters, sump pumps, disposals, repair, and replacements. Again, more information, go online, cooperswaterconditioning.com. Mitchell Evans made that beautiful throw from center field to cut down the runner at home plate, and now he'll lead off for the Trojans here in the bottom of the 6th. He's in front, 2 balls, no strikes. Again, the new pitcher here now for the Avon Orioles came in toward the end of last inning is Nick Underwood.
Yeah, Underwood, their leading returning pitcher from last year as far as innings pitched. I mean, last year's his numbers 2-2 with a 5.11 ERA. Pitched 24 2/3 innings, gave up 30 hits, 18 runs, 22 walks, 22 strikeouts last year. Evans pops it up here.
Major league pop-up in the infield.
Uh-oh.
And the first baseman calls off the pitcher and makes the catch. Or is it the second baseman? First baseman. Yeah, first baseman. That's Condis.
Yeah, we had a collision there. Here's the funniest thing. I always find Kevin is, and more so in the major league game, is that nobody thinks a pitcher can catch the ball. on pop-ups. And, I mean, right there was the exact case. The pitcher's just sitting here camped under it, and here comes the first baseman, and they about caused an error by knocking it away from each other.
I can see calling off your catcher at times.
Right. That's completely different because the catcher's looking at it differently, and they got all the equipment on that stuff. But it's the pitcher thing that's always funny to me. When most of the time growing up, the pitchers at the major league level were your best athletes and were playing and hitting all of the time anyway. And all of a sudden they get to the majors and they don't know how to catch a fly ball.
Called a strike on the corner. 1 ball, 2 strikes to Owen Guilfoyle. Owen 2 for 3. Couple of singles. 2 runs batted in back in the 4th. Having a great home opener his senior year.
Oh.
And now he's hit by the pitch. Tried to duck out of the way. He's on his way to first.
Those are the ones that, I mean, not only on a cold day, obviously, getting hit, but man, when those come around your wrists and your hands and stuff, that's the quickest way that you can see a broken bone or something like that. But it looks like Guilfoyle's going to be okay, and he'll take first base.
Center Grove softball victorious today at Terre Haute North against Terre Haute South in Game 1, beating South 10-2. Trojans 4 home runs. They had no home runs in their first 3 games this week, but today, different story.
Who's the 4th one?
Peyton Szymanski, junior catcher. She's committed to play Columbia University in New York in the Ivy League.
That's very, very impressive right there. Love to see that. That's the perfect example of a student athlete there. If you got the grades to get into the Ivy League, that's kudos to that young lady, and obviously a very good softball player.
So CG 10-2 victorious over Terre Haute South. They'll get ready now to play Terre Haute North in Game 2 today. So the Trojans now 2 wins, 2 losses on the season in softball. 3 balls, no strikes. Garrison Burrell. 1 walk today, looking at another walk possibly. Takes a strike from Underwood.
On a very big lead at first by Guilfoyle. That'll another walk.
Second walk for Burrell today. He's been on 3 times today. Helps that on-base percentage. Runners at first and second, 1 gone. We're in the bottom of the 6th. Center Grove leads it 7-3.
Matthew Sauter.
Matthew Sauter. 0 for 2 today. RBI, a walk. Looking for that first hit today.
Somebody woke up the bench.
I think they just had some cheeseburgers. They got their energy back. Sam, did you go get the guys some cheeseburgers down there in the dugouts? All of a sudden, they came alive big time. Strike 1 there to Sauter. Underwood taking some time here on the mound. Working from the stretch.
That was fastball right there down the middle. Now
I think he was a little surprised it was that good. Normally on a pitch like that, you would see something either outside or inside, but hung that one over the plate. 0-2 to Sauter. Fouls it away.
And you got, the middle infielders are kind of trying to keep Guilfoyle close there, so you're leaving 2 holes open, one between first and second and the other one between short and third.
Took a good cut. Strikeout for Underwood, his first punch out. 2 gone.
Number 9,
Grant Sawa. 0 for 2 today. A couple of flyouts, hit by the pitch back in the second. Got a stolen base and scored in the second. Ball 1 here to Grant.
Yeah, I thought Avon might be holding Underwood back since he's a leading returning pitcher for Game 2, but, they probably have more pitchers are available for that one. Like you said, they played Terre Haute North here in Game 2, and then Center Grove will finish up the day playing Terre Haute North in the final game around 5 o'clock.
We will be just streaming Game 1 today, CG Avon, and Rick and I will return Tuesday, CG playing Edinburgh in the county tournament. That'll be our next baseball web stream. That one's fouled away. I think Sawwa wants that one back. He liked that pitch.
It was a little bit elevated, though. Those always look better than a lot of times you'll get pop-ups on those.
Trojans 5 hits today. 4 hits for the Orioles. 1 error by the Orioles. 2-2 the count to Grant Sawwa.
Good job of battling back by Underwood after getting 2 guys on.
Chopper to the first baseman. He's got
he's not there.
Didn't get there, you're right. He had to cover.
And he's not paying attention, and here comes Guilfoyle. Wow. Great heads-up play by Guilfoyle.
Underwood was frustrated by the play, the pitcher. He didn't get to first base in time and then kind of dropped his head, and that's when Guilfoyle took off for home plate and scores.
Yeah, exactly right, Kevin. The first baseman did his job, and Underwood was a little slow getting off the mound, and credit Sawwa with continuing to hustle, and he beat the throw, and Underwood was kind of mad at himself and didn't pay attention, and Guilfoyle took a couple steps off of third base and then just went ahead and kept running. So a big insurance run there for Center Grove, and still 2 on, 2 out.
So, Rick, is that ruled a hit?
That's an error. That's an E1.
E1
yep.
For not being there?
Yep. I mean, it wasn't the first baseman's, and it wouldn't have been a hit if he was there.
Sure. Give credit, though. Sawwa, he was sprinting down that base path. He was getting to first pretty fast.
Yeah, like I said, credit to him and credit to Owen Guilfoyle for a nice heads-up play there. You obviously aren't going to do that probably with 2 outs. Take that chance, but with 2 outs, a great opportunity to get an insurance run on that board, and that's exactly what Guilfoyle was able to do. And you got Zapp up now 2-0, 2 on.
And Burrill also heads up play. He took off from second to third. So runners at the corners. 2 gone. Zapp at the plate. 2 balls, 1 strike. Zapp a walk, 2 walks today. And the ground rule double in the 4th. He scored in the 4th. 2 balls, 2 strikes to Zapp.
Also got, after all of that play, Noah Coy is pinch running, courtesy runner at first base there. Good wheels from that sophomore. He's going to get a lot of opportunities this year in a lot of different places. Mr. Utility for Center Grove. He's got he takes balls at all 3 different infield positions and also in the outfield as well. So Noah's going to get some opportunities there as a sophomore.
Sawwa took off for second base. Fouled away by Zapp. I guess you do take off when you got a full count. 2 gone.
It's early in the season, Kevin.
That's right.
And it's Coy at first base, too.
Oh, that's right.
I know.
Coy.
You're still looking at this cheeseburger.
I need to eat the rest of this cheeseburger. I can only take 1 bite at a time.
Focus.
That's right. I need my energy with this cheeseburger. I can get my energy up. There goes Coy.
Oh, yeah.
And strikes him out looking at the plate. Backwards K. Trojans, though, they do get a run. 8-3. CG leads it. Needing 3 more outs for the first victory here in 2022. Trying to get the victory here on this inaugural game on the new turf. Center Grove 8, Avon 3. This is Trojan Baseball, presented by Cooper's Water.
Tyler, where did all these old busted up furnaces come from?
Well, Chad, they're from our customers. They really love our free furnace promo.
I don't know if we can keep this up much longer.
Free furnace blowout. Your final chance. Get a free Bryant furnace from Peterman when you buy a qualifying new AC system. This deal will end soon.
Whatever it takes to keep you comfortable.
Text furnace to 72345 for your free furnace now.
Trojans need 3 more outs for the victory. Huffman at the plate. Hard ground ball to Culbertson at third. Fires across the field for out number 1.
1 pitch, 1 out. Got to like to see that, Kevin. A great play by Culbertson, staying down on that, and he's got an absolute cannon over there. We saw it a lot last year at shortstop, and this year we'll see it at third base.
Number 9, Nate Simpson.
Good start to this top of the 7th inning by Aiden Murphy. This 3rd inning of action.
Simpson, ball 1. 1 for 3 today, single. Back in his last plate appearance. Good pitch by Aiden Murphy.
He's got to pump those strikes. 5-run lead. Last thing you want to do is put a couple guys on via walks.
And that one's high, 2-1. As we hopefully finish up this game here in this 7th inning. A big thank you to, again, Chris Griffith, our sponsor today, Cooper's Water. Fly ball, left field, caught by Matthew Sauter, 2 gone. Also a big thank you to all those watching online today. We've had a great audience online, good crowd here today for this inaugural game on the turf. And Center Grove now, Rick, one out away from getting the victory. It's first here in 2022, but you always want to win that first one, especially on a special day like today.
Absolutely, and if they can get 1 more out here, and then they'll take a little bit of time off and come back. Second game will start probably about half hour after the first one, so
closer to that 3 o'clock hour,
yep.
Maybe a little bit before 3 o'clock. It'll be Avon, Terre Haute North, and then Center Grove will play probably 5:30, 6 o'clock later tonight against Terre Haute North. There's a shot up the middle, but doesn't get through the infield. And Cerny also with a great arm, and Trojans win it. Final score, 8-3. Well done by Coach Keith Hatfield and the Center Grove Trojans after what was probably a disappointing night on Wednesday, the season opener at Columbus East, ending in a tie, 7-7, to come back with an impressive game here today against Avon to win it 8-3. So, and again, to win it here on this new turf today, a special day of baseball for the Center Grove Trojans, and they'll now have a record of 1-0-1, and for Avon, they're 0-1, and they'll play their second game of the season in about 30 minutes against Terre Haute North. And again, the Trojans will end today, later this evening, with a game against Terre Haute North. So Rick and I will conclude this web stream. We'll come back with our post-game show, and then our next Center Grove baseball web stream will be coming up on Tuesday when the Trojans take on Edinburgh in the opening round of the Johnson County tournament. Trojans, 8 runs, 5 hits, no errors for the Avon Orioles. 3 runs, 4 hits, couple of errors. Trojans win it. Today's game presented by Cooper's Water. This is Center Grove Trojan Baseball.
This is your IHSAA. This is your state. This is your high school. This is your athletic association.
Fans, I'm IHSA Commissioner Paul Knighty, and we're here to make sure that all of this remains yours.
This is your state. This is your community. This is your IHSAA.
Eight to 3 your final. Center Grove over Avon in the home opener in 2022. Back here on the postgame show. Rick, the pitching wasn't sharp today for the Trojans, but the bats came alive and defense was solid behind the pitching. Obviously, you look at the walks and hit batters and things of that nature, probably one too many of those today for the Trojans. But as Coach Hatfield kind of said after the Columbus East game, those kinds of things are correctable. Those are things you can work on. And, again, I think there's some similar situation here today. Things that kind of went south on the Trojans a little bit are things you can work on and improve upon. And, again, there's a lot of talent with this Center Grove baseball team.
The thing I was happy about to see is after Wilson did struggle in that second inning, similar to what we saw out of Murphy in the second inning down at Columbus East, he was able to get out of that inning. And then he really pitched pretty well the last 3 innings. I mean, third inning was 3 up, 3 down, helped by a double play. Fourth inning was 3 up, 3 down. And then the fifth inning was 4 up, 3 down. So he was only 1 over the minimum, or actually he just pitched through the fourth. So, I mean, he struggled the first couple innings, or really not the first inning, the second inning, but he came back pretty strong. He still only gave up 1 hit. But, yeah, it's those walks and hit by pitch that you got to get corrected. And then Aiden Murphy, I thought, did a good job of coming in his 3 innings of pitching. He's going to pitch more to contact. He gave up 3 hits, but only 1 run in those last 3 innings, and he did what you need to do, and that's come in and throw strikes. But, yeah, the offense came alive after being down 2-0. This offense is going to score runs. I mean, even today, they scored 8 runs, but they stranded another 9 guys. So through 2 games, they've stranded 23 runners. Well, guess what? That's not going to continue. I mean, it's sort of like one of those things where you say water finds its weight. I mean, water's going to find its weight, and one of these days Center Grove is going to put up 15 or 20 runs in a game by getting a couple timely hits. So they'll be fine. I thought they got contributions up and down that order. I mean, Evan Zapp from that 8-hole, Kevin, goes 1 for 2, gets on base 3 times. I thought Owen Guilfoyle had a really nice game. He was 2 for 3. Runs scored. Mitchell Evans got on 3 times. So, I mean, those guys continue to get on base, and you're gonna find a way. Obviously, Tyler Cerny had the big home run there in left field, and Vought had another one. So, a pretty decent performance. I think, the players and Coach Hatfield will say, we got a lot of things to continue to work on, and they'll be able to do that here in another 2 or 3 hours.
And you think about the defensive plays today for the Trojans. Tyler Cerny, 2 double play balls. You got Burrill making a diving catch early in the game in right field. That was a great start for the Trojans defensively. And then, of course, Sawal behind the plate. The numerous blocks on the curveballs down in the dirt. So Sawal did a great job. And then
arguably the biggest play of the game, Kevin, was Mitchell Evans throwing out,
exactly,
the base hit there to center field when Avon's really got a chance to get this thing closer. And I mean, it was 7-3, and they got the possibility of bases loaded, or it would have been 7-4, and then still would have had 2 runners on and their number 2 hitter coming up. And Mitchell Evans throws a strike to the plate, and obviously Grant did a great job of blocking the plate and catching the ball to get that out. But I think that was probably the biggest play of the game. But you're right, Kevin. I mean, two double plays there by Cerny up the middle, got ground balls, and no errors on the game by that defense. And that defense is going to be pretty stout all year. And they definitely helped Wilson and Murphy out today.
So, again, for the Center Grove Trojans, they'll play again later this evening. They'll play Terre Haute North probably in that 5 to 6 o'clock hour. And we will not stream that game, but we'll be back on Tuesday with the stream as the Trojans host Edinburgh in the first round of the county tournament. And also we'll have Center Grove softball coming up next Wednesday. The Trojans will host Ron Colley, the state champs in Class 4A, from last year, and they got the great pitcher, the Rocket Fire. She's something else. She's not only the best in the state, but maybe one of the best in the nation.
You want to see an All-American pitcher, not just an All-State pitcher. You want to see an All-American pitcher if she throws. I mean, sometimes they don't pitch them in every game or whatever. But yeah,
I would say playing at Center Grove, she's probably going to throw.
Yeah, probably. Even though they won't be playing on the new field that they might be there in the regional and beyond there. But yeah, she's committed to Florida, I believe, already, and yeah, she's fantastic. But hopefully, I mean, Center Grove did a decent job against her, got some runners on last year, and hopefully they're able to do the same thing on Wednesday. And, yep, we'll be back here on Tuesday. Looking forward to that, Kevin.
All right. Thanks a lot for your work today, Rick. I think I'm going to finally get a chance to finish my cheeseburger.
Finish that thing out, man. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you. Final score today, Center Grove 8, Avon 3. Trojans now on the season, 1 win, no losses, 1 time. Avon 0-1 on the young season. Center Grove baseball coverage today was produced by CG Sports Network. Our presenting sponsor was Cooper's Water. Again, our next web stream Tuesday when the Trojans host Edinburgh in the county baseball tournament. Until then, this is Kevin Conrad for Rick Embry saying so long, everyone, from Center Grove High School.